So you know how everybody's talking about there's something happening in a sense, like in um different areas of the blog sphere, where if you talk about this subject or if you talk about that subject, a lot of people are sensing that there's something that's happening. I don't know what it is, but this is there's that they're doing this and people are behaving. Everywhere you see, people are behaving. So there I can tell you that they're right, and even the uh the Hebrew Israelites too are not conflicted in the sense that something is about to happen. Like some people think, gas won't burn, guns won't pop. You know what I mean? Like that it will happen on a physiological level, like atmospherical conditions, and something like a shift or an osmosis to where you don't get the same chemical reactions anymore. But people are not killed off. There was a bit of a mass dying, but it wasn't that much. People died from radiation because the Boros kicked in all around the planet, and the now you can see the not Ouroboros, Aurora Borealis. Fuck, all around the whole planet, right? It's a pole shift, but that's not even it. That's not even what I'm talking about. It could all be connected, but it's so it would be too encompassing for me. It's too all encompassing for me to explain. So I go into a different little area, and it could drive you crazy. It could really drive someone crazy. So let me branch off and go into, there's all these areas of laws, right? There's an unbelievable amount of laws to where I guess you wouldn't even recognize the ones, what they mean, right? You can have laws that are left over from previous times that don't apply to the modus operandi of the common man, the proletariat, which is the fuel for the battery that provides the push of the modality to the aristocracy, their attempts to reach gratification, because sometimes they'll call each other Timmy and Willie, and then sometimes they'll call them the Kaiser, the Tsar, and it's different rules, and when they fight, we die, okay? When they make up, Emperor Hiroshito is fine, like, like they didn't arrest him. We had to let off a nuclear bomb and we didn't arrest that guy. He forced us to do what we had to do. We got to arrest him. You know what I mean? It's like, if Caesar crosses the Rubicon, he starts granting clemency to people for coming over and supporting him instead of Pompey. Clemency? What do you mean clemency? What are you talking about clemency? Because you have to make a pact. My word is my bond, okay? All I have is my balls and my words. So if I break my balls and my words to go over to Caesar, who's not supposed to cross the Rubicon, he's like, that's a law that they all understand. The aristocracy understands that you must not be gratification with the push of the modality. So then he has to grant them clemency. Now look at the marriage laws, right? Those are pertain to hermeneutics, grounding morals in the dogma of what you would consider to be the quote-unquote church. So when people go to a church, they're just going to something oftentimes to get their secular marriage license that's recognized by the government. If the government makes available divorces and they still recognize the church's marriages and issue the church, if you went to the church, you would get an annulment. You wouldn't get a divorce, right? But that marriage is still recognized by the government, who's also issuing divorces, right? For secular marriages who want to come over and select some virtues and say, I'm cool off some other virtues. Like, I'm cool off those. Then, because, it's like, it's almost nearly impossible to sin if you engage in secular activities not under the banner of this is hermeneutically grounded Christian morals in the dogma of the church. That makes it a conflict for even the people who just want to proceed in hedonism, right? Like your nipple softener. So, and in another sense, they can be like, it's like, I'm wiser than you because I'm older than you, or we got together out of consideration and compassion when we felt that it was the time to bring new life into the world. And it makes the most powerful instinct in nature seem like, it's like it makes it seem dirty. How is it dirty? So they just need to stop saying that. It's disingenuous. It's bad faith arguments, selective memory. Shopping statistics is possible now. Shopping for psychologists was the big thing in the 90s. Shopping for statistics is just made readily available and affordable to everyone to assist in the coercion psychology, because we feel like we can get away with it. There's no way that you can really even eloquate it is what we're doing. We're not touching you. Ew. So if you want to get over on the other side where it's possible and almost nearly impossible to sin, and yet they still won't like what happens in order to facilitate this concept. What do you mean impossible to sin? No, nearly impossible to sin. Because if they were not issued government marriage licenses, then they would have to go to church. If they were going to get, it's only annulments are available. So you're thinking twice about becoming secular and Christian, taking some of both. You're taking some of this I like and taking some of that I like. And then you're saying, what's the matter with if like I do this and that? I'm just going to educate people then. Okay. See what I mean? It'd be almost nearly impossible for me to go back and forth with somebody about if they say I'm wiser than you because I'm twice your age, or because I said I don't like you. Because if you say I don't like you, I could posit that maybe perhaps I don't like you either. Why do seculars need to get a marriage? Why would that want them? Why would they even benefit? Why would they even want to do it? Why do they want that marriage license piece of paper to be recognized by the government? But the whole practice of marriage is strictly rooted in the way that people try to, reproduce. Like their best attempt at doing this. What's it called? Procreation. How do you procreate? What's the best way to procreate is the whole question. So, given that I don't even believe that Christhood is a religion, I think it's just Christ. I think it's just, like he's not conflicted. He doesn't have any heresies. He's not conflicted in any way. You know what I mean? And he said that he'll tear down the pillars that uphold the church that's built in his name. And he say that all the other religions are silly. He left them behind like childish things. Oh snap, right? But I'm not going to tell a Christian person that's doing their best, because when they're Christian, they're trying. If Christianity is just saying we're trying to ground our moral dogma in hermeneutics so that we can attempt to creation. And what's it called? The being Christian, though it is a religion, a silly religion, like you shouldn't interfere with them. They're doing what they best attempt at Christhood supposed to mean. So how can you take some of what you like and some secular and some, and say I'm cool off some? If it wasn't possible for them to select some of those virtues and then to get presented with some other virtues, because it doesn't matter if I don't know or don't understand. Like, I didn't know about that. Like, I can keep telling you I don't know what you mean. Well, shit, does it even matter? Because what if if Christ makes it impossible for you to sin, there might be something in a clause that you don't like, I don't like this. It's like, this is not cool. Where I'm anxious. I'm feeling anxious right now. I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm going to chime off like a burglar alarm, and I'm just waiting for my chance to trap you and deceive you. Then I can tell you what I want to say. My God. You know what I'm saying? You're going to just like, you're going to destroy me, and I'm going to be like, you made me forget what I was going to say. So like, fucking, I can't. Now it's impossible for me to even go back and forth with you. It's not even possible for me to tell you that I'm not going to go back and forth with you, because it's even impossible. And then nearly impossible, because of course you can understand that some people are still going to be able to live in sin even though they are secular and not able to make that crossover back and forth. You know what I mean? Selecting something in order to get that piece of paper. So some people will still slide into sin, but they'll slide so far, so hard, they'll have to walk around coated in freaking baby lard and symbols to protect them from angels and shit like that. It was like, you're on some other shit. You're on some other shit right there.